carried through the early game, and so the aggressive picks of Team Queso are going to have to really help that out, but they find themselves at a 1-0 deficit. Team Noob is up and 1 win away from securing themselves in a 3rd straight semifinal, as Poseidon is going to be the one that's caught out at the beginning of the game. He's going to get double stunned and is forced to activate that 2 ability for his #1, so he's not going to have too much pushing power, as now Team Noob is going to find themselves on a little bit of a back end as Team Queso strikes first with a piece of aggression.
Yeah, I really like that. Team Queso did basically what Team Noob did for game 1, is that 5-man rotation. And look at the way that Team Noob is counter-rotating. That's exactly what you want to do. It keeps the gold and jungle farm even. You know, both teams are pretty even right now, with Team Noob actually getting ahead because they're able to farm some of the waves. That's the downfall of a 5-man rotation, is because you kind of aren't able to farm your wave as fast. So as a result, look at Team Noob's gold lead for the time being. And look at Poseidon being so aggressive against the pro here in mid lane.
Chogner's going to be able to come and help out, force a disengage by the pro and the rest of Team Queso. And so just like that, you're going to have a little bit of, and now it's going to have a little bit of himself of a tower dive. It's not going to be enough, but it will result themselves in a 1-for-1 securing lead for securing kills both in the hands of the Nacroth as well as the Wonder Woman.
Yeah, and look at this counter dive here. They're basically trading the top and the bottom, and they know Yorn is weak in the early. This is why Ryoma's side lane, for example, is so strong. He was just exerting so much pressure on Yorn. Yorn just could not take out the Ryoma and trade with him. And look at that nice rotation from the side of Team Noob, getting the kill on Ryoma because of the aggression.
We haven't really spent too much time talking about the power of Vex, but Vex will find himself on that Nacroth, but it's not going to be enough, as a nice little roam down for support by Wonder Woman, always there to help her team. The shield, the sword, and the love for friendship, as Wonder Woman is going to be able to secure herself a 2nd kill. And getting the resources into someone that's going to be that frontline dueler like the Wonder Woman is definitely going to help them in these skirmish situations for Queso.
Yeah, and I love the aggression coming from both sides of the team. They are fighting this so hard, and it's so fun to watch when both teams are doing that. And you can see the rotations and the trade that Team Queso is doing against Team Noob here. But look at the engage they're coming from Team Queso, and they get the kill onto Vex, secures the kill onto the side against Team Queso, and it's going to put them in a nice lead.
Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, Barbara was able to get a nice little duel up onto Pitch, and so Pitch is going to end up going down, and that's going to create an opportunity. And so the slow, rugged start that we saw from Team Queso in game #1 has been adapted, because the dueling composition that they have created in game #2 is showing themselves quite a victory as they secure the first Abyssal Dragon of the game 3 minutes in.
Yeah, and this puts them at a comfortable 1.5k-ish gold lead. And Team Queso is doing a really, really nice job. With the way he's playing Ryoma, he's basically poking a lot with his passive, right? He can have that super far range hit along with the Rolling Blade stun hit that has such good range. And that's exactly how you want to play Ryoma. And because they have L'Oreal here, this is a really good composition going against the Nacroth that wants to go in there. L'Oreal can just ultimate and then engage.
Meanwhile, 7 is able to, or goes down again to Barbara, and that is picking up, securing her 4th kill of the game. We're at almost 4 minutes in. She's already secured herself a Mantle of Ra, and she's able to have all the dueling power. Vex is going to be able to go down again. So the power of that Nacroth, despite the fact that he has the mobility to move around the map, has been finding himself a little bit too far caught out with these rotations of Team Queso.
Yeah, this is really tough for Nacroth here. Nacroth wants to get ahead. The whole goal of Nacroth is to just steal your enemy's jungle farm and just snowball the heck out of the jungle. And now he's not able to do that. He's getting rotated on and can collapse. And you can see why, you know, ADC in the side lane is just not as strong sometimes, because it just takes too long to scale. And it's interesting that they put him on the dragon side of the map, because you want to have your stronger, and look at that play by Yavix and the Noob there. Alice and Ryoma stun combo, getting that kill in mid lane.
We've talked about how Team Noob suffers when they lose the draft phase. They found themselves a solid draft, but they don't have the opportunity, or the ability rather, to combat this early level aggression, as we see 3 members on the top side of the map for Team Queso make that forward, as Barbara is going to be able to join. A nice little stun's going to come out onto the Chognar. Barbara, meanwhile, is going to be able to use that one ability to get in onto. She's going to end up using the lasso to pull Chognar in, but Little Mammoth is a little too tanky for them.
Yeah, it is. It is. And going back to what I was talking about earlier, Yorn on the dragon side of the lane is just so risky because he's a development hero. He needs to develop and get into his mid to late game power spike. You saw how much abuse they had, and because they put him in dragon side, they completely are losing control of the dragon side of the map and allowing Team Queso to make some aggressive plays to secure dragon here.
The pro, as well as the other members of Team Queso, are going to find themselves in a little bit of a difficult situation. Vex actually ends up picking the kill onto the Abyssal Dragon. His pitch will dive onto the back lane. The Noob will end up going down. Yavix trying to get that last auto attack.
Ooh.
The passive will allow that long range auto attack to be able to go through, but all the rather, they're going to lose themselves tons of resources. Not only does the dragon go down, but 4 kills go into the hand of Team Noob, as Barbara is going to get slightly outplayed by Vex.
Ooh.
Little knock-up, and it's not going to matter. Clean ace, almost, rather, for the side of Team Noob.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate there. Barbara just took way too much damage from tower there, and you can see they're ahead, but now because of that play, they actually put themselves a little behind. They give up that lead, and they lose the lead, actually, and then allow Team Noob to come back into this game with such an aggressive play.
Team Queso turning into burnt cheese, as Team Noob is able to secure themselves some nice little comeback mechanics. At one point being down 2,000 gold at pre-6 minutes, have now put themselves up about 1,000 gold, so swinging the gold lead back into their favor, as another blue team defense tower has been taken down, extending the lead for Team Noob.
Yeah, Team Noob is looking pretty good now. They look a little shaky in the early game, but because of these team fighters they're winning, and because of the Abyssal Dragon take that they had, they won the Abyssal Dragon, then he took the bottom tower. That was a huge turnaround for the side of Team Noob, and look, and now they're 1K ahead. However, the game is pretty even for the most part. Team Queso only lost 2 towers, but they were able to take 1 tower, and it's the Slayer side of the map. However, they need to make sure they don't lose another dragon to the side of Team Noob here.
Poseidon's going to try to get himself a nice little poke damage. Come into on one side of the wall, pop right back over. The mobility and the power of Tulin kind of showing his prowess, as Yavix is going to try to get himself a nice little piece of poke as well. But despite the disadvantage that Team Noob had at one point or another, they have found themselves in a very solid situation. A nice little power dive. Ibuchichi, you're going to have to be very careful, buddy. I don't think you want to find yourself there, but just like that, it's going to be the Yorn being able to pick up that final tick of damage and securing that kill on Ibuchichi.
Yeah, that heal from Alice actually saved the Zale, but then the Yorn was able to snipe him. That was such a great aggressive play by Ibuchichi. I loved how he played Zale. I just wish that when he made that play, the Alice Hissy Fit ultimate was up, because he would do so much more damage and probably would be able to clean up and get some more kills under that Alice ultimate.
And look at the roller coaster ride that we have here for everything related to gold. It was power in the hands of Team Queso, but as you saw, the roller coaster hit its peak and then plummeted towards the side of Team Noob, as they have secured themselves now an ever-growing gold lead up to almost over 3,000 gold in their favor.
Yeah, and this is not looking good for Team Queso. They had that early game lead, and like I said, Ryoma will start to fall off a little bit into the late game, but they still have a nice power spike. They do have Zeo and the L'Oreal, who scale pretty well into the late game, but you're going to see the side of Team Noob start building Medallions of Troy to counter all that magic damage that they have on the side of Team Queso.
So now we're going to find ourselves another piece of little skirmish. You're going to have a nice little zoning opportunity there coming out of the Yorn. Lots of damage already, despite the fact that he got tower dove and lost his life quite early. He has been able to secure himself nice little pieces of farm and resources, 1, 3, and 3, but sitting at 4.4 thousand gold. Slowly but surely, he's starting to catch up in this farm, catch up in these resources. Yeah,
Team Queso needs to play aggressive. You know, Team Noob does not have a lot of magic defense. Yeah, Grid of Greaves does give some magic defense, but then again, Alice's ultimate decreases magic defense when they're stuck in it, and they have L'Oreal and a Zeo. If they combo the Alice ultimate with L'Oreal ultimate, they're going to do a really good job of being able to delete someone, because L'Oreal has that slow now, right? It's 50% slow when she procs her passive. On top of the Alice slow and Alice stun, they have a lot of combos they can do to get right back into this game. They have a Wonder Woman's AoE stun, they have a Ryoma, a Welling Blade stun. They have a lot of tools in their kit to really turn around some of these team fights.
Let's talk a little bit about the priorities that Pitch is going to be finding with this Max, Sweej. Obviously, you have a lot of dive potential, a lot of in-your-face skirmish mentality coming out of the side of Queso. What is going to be the priority for Max in these team fights?
Yeah, Max wants to get onto L'Oreal. L'Oreal is a huge carry, especially into the composition with Nakroth wanting to dive. L'Oreal just offers way too much AoE damage if they want to dive onto her. It's easier for Max to zone her out and allow the side of Team Noob to then focus down either the Zill or the Roma or Wonder Woman once they overextend. And that's what Max needs to do. His job is to zone out the other enemy carry.
Yavix is going to be able to get a nice little stun on Poseidon to save the life of Barbara, but Noob will actually end up picking up the kill on Poseidon. So a little bit of over-Tulin aggressiveness will find them in a difficult situation. But now the tower dive is starting his pitch. The power and the strength of that Max is trying to show its weight, forcing the ultimate out of the pro, but it doesn't matter because Yavix will end up going down. That's going to be the tier 2 tower in the top lane going. It's going to have a slight disengage from the side of Team Noob. But all the struggles that they were finding in the earlier stages of the game does not matter. 6,000 gold advantage in 11 minutes.
Yeah, what a huge play by Maxer. We're able to knock away Roma from the tower, and then the Croth, Vex just went ham on that tower. The amount of attack speed he's built, he has so much attack speed, and he's able to take these objectives so quickly. So they need to definitely watch out for Vex there, because he is their main carry right now. Pro
doing a really good job at trying to balance the ultimate of that L'Oreal, but it doesn't matter because the last little auto attack is going to come down of Zev. Now Ibichichi and Vex are going to find themselves a little bit of a tango. Chagnar is going to be able to rotate himself over to help out a little bit. Pitch, meanwhile, will try to go onto the backline of the Noob. One more auto attack is going to do it.
Wow.
Just like that, Pitch picking up the kill onto Noob. Bauer being forced to walk away as well. Now Team Noob still heartily in control.
Yeah, Pitch is playing Max so well there. He's getting such good picks and engages. He's waiting for the opponents to get low on health, and he's focusing. He's using a lift-off ultimate to target those opponents that are lower health because of how they're diving onto his team there, and then cleaning up a lot of these fights. So Pitch is just playing so well on Max right now.
12 minutes into the game, despite the fact that these teams are tied in kills, it is the tower advantage that has Team Noob heartily in the favor. Almost 7,000 gold lead in their favor as the stabilization potential for Team Queso. Now, we've talked about this before. Team Queso was down in game number 1. Their win conditions to catch back up were a little different than they have here in game number 2. What needs to change for Queso to potentially get themselves the comeback? Yeah,
they need to protect their high ground tower. Just not lose high ground tower and then continue, again, to scale and get the gold and level lead in parity. Because right now they're behind in levels and they're trying to force these fights. So they need to be really careful. And I'm looking for the Alice ultimate, like a good Alice ultimate along with L'Oreal diving in there, turning her smite up, and then Zill and everyone just going in there and fighting on top of the Hissy Fit ultimate is a great way for Team Queso to turn around and win these fights decisively.
They're going to have to make sure that they're very careful because the frontline power, as well as the damage coming out of Team Noob, is unrelenting. As you have 2 kills going already into the favor of both these sides, and this is going to be one of the final fights to decide it all. And it looks like it's going to be Team Queso that secures himself nice pieces of victory. That's going to be 4 members going down. As Yavix is going to get, just as I stand corrected, Poseidon is going to try to get himself up. That's going to force the flicker out of Yavix. Poseidon goes down. But he does pick up that kill, so 3 for 4 in favor of Team Queso.
Yeah, you saw that Alice actually went down in the fight and didn't contribute much, but it didn't even use the ultimate. Her ultimate's still up. But you saw L'Oreal. L'Oreal did so much work in that fight, doing so much AoE damage. She doesn't even have a 4th tier 3 item yet. So once she finishes her 4th tier 3 item and builds at Hekates, she is going to do so much more damage because it amplifies that ability power. So Team Queso, as long as they continue to turtle here and get that level 15, get those 4th and 5th tier 3 items, they have a really good shot of turning this game around in their favor.
You talked about the potential for Pitch, Max, and securing that priority on L'Oreal in the fights. Let's talk a little bit about Ibuchichi on that Vex, the assassin, or on that Zill. The assassin potential on the Zill we know is a very real aspect. Who's going to be the priority target for him in these fights against Team Noob?
Yeah, Ibuchichi wants to focus on Yorn. If they get a good Alice Hissy Fit onto the Yorn, so he's slowed and can't move and run away, Zill is going to be able to delete the Yorn. He barely has any defense. He's building a lot of attack damage. So as long as they finish off the Yorn and then they focus onto the Tulin, who does a lot of the AoE damage, I think they have a really good chance of winning these fights once they limit this Yorn. Because look at Yorn. He's poking from so far and doing so much damage.
A little bit of a split fight there for Team Noob, but they still have the protection. The tanks of Pitch as well as 9 have been able to help them in plenty of situations. Now, despite the fact that Team Queso does find themselves behind, they haven't lost a high ground turret just yet. So there is hope alive. The super minions are not knocking at the door just yet, but you're having a very solid little 4-1 split push being done on the side of Team Noob, trying to create that little bit of pressure. Vex on that Nacroth has done quite well thus far, as it's just slight little ticks down. Lorio's going to be able to come over, but the defense still stands from Queso.
Yeah, they got to watch out for Sam. He just finished, in the past 10 seconds ago, he finished Clav's Sancti, which does so much damage, adds to the kit. It's just an ADC meta item that they built. He also has Fafnir's Talon, which can allow him to do a lot of burst damage with that 8% heal. And look at this fight here.
This is going to be the fight to decide them all, as Yavix ends up picking the kill up onto Pitch. Meanwhile, you had Pro diving onto the back line. Pitch as well as Seven are going to go down. Ibuchichi down onto the side of Queso, so now it's a 4v3 in favor of Queso. And just like that, they defended again. However, 2 high ground turrets are lost. So despite the fact that the kills were going in favor of Queso, it is the objectives again in the favor of Team Noob.
Yeah, I'm surprised Team Noob's not even opting to go for Darkslayer here. However, they're able to secure 2 high ground towers because of how they're split pushing. And this is something that Nacroth is so good at. He clears out waves so fast and is so mobile. You can't really chase him and get to him. Look at that. You cannot catch this assassin, which is why he is so... If you see someone like Vex playing him so well, he can do so much work and be able to split push, take objectives, and with both high ground towers off on the bottom and top side, that's a lot of... That's 2 super minions spawning, 1 on each side. That's going to put a lot of weight pressure now against Team Queso.
You also have to take a look at what this Alice has created in these team fights thus far. 2, 5, and 10 has been the support staff for her team, but hasn't been able to create as much of a pressure as I think Team Queso was looking for.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, they need to combo it. I'm not seeing the Alice come out, and then she's constantly just getting out-poked by the team here. And she needs to use her ultimate to really do a lot of work there. You know, and because Chognar... Oh, and that's a nice dive there. Beautiful dive by Ibuchini right into the Yorn.
Yorn's going to find himself down in death. Pitch, meanwhile, he's going to try to get onto the backline, but it doesn't matter. The last little tick will pick up the kill onto the Noob, but Team Queso's onslaught continues. However, Vex does have himself a super minion. There aren't members, they don't have it. That's going to be the AD power of Nacroth taking over. He's got Scorching Wind, he has the attack speed, he has the damage, and just like that, Vex going to secure game 2 and set and match for Team Noob.